So hi guys, this video was requested by Praveen. So he was asking regarding the net installer, this one here. And when I went to make a video on this, I realized that this ISO isn't working. So I've kept it here just for reference purpose. I'm not going to delete this for some time. But what I've gone ahead and done is made a new ISO for this month. So you can download it from here. And meanwhile, what I can do is show you on VirtualBox. I've prepared a virtual machine here on what you can do with this ISO. So your standard splash screen, and then since this is a VM, I'm going to boot with the first option, that is using the free and open source GPU drivers. And once this boots up, you will be booting into Plasma by default. So the prerequisite system wise is basically you need to have a power connection and also internet, because this is the net installer ISO. So you get Plasma with this, and then you get an option to choose other desktops, or you also get to choose your window managers and certain software. So this is how the booted up ISO looks like. You can just go ahead and click on install Arch Linux, and this will load the installer. So the difference between the previous ISO and this one is also that the installer is different. So this is an updated one, by the way. So you can click on next, standard stuff, time zone and location and keyboard and everything else. This is what is different from the main ISOs. So under the desktop section, you want to make sure that this is mandatory. Okay, if you do not select anything from here, on next boot up you will end up in a black screen. I mean, you will have the display manager, but it will have nothing to show you, so you technically won't boot up into a desktop environment. And yes, it will not boot you up into a text user interface either, right? So you want to make sure you are selecting some of this. So if you want Plasma, go with Plasma. If you want XFC, go with XFC. Ideally what you want to do is choose only one, but just to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead with, let's say, GNOME as well. And then I think Praveen was asking regarding Budgie, so we can go ahead with that. Under window managers we have i3. So we are going to install all of these things here. You can go ahead and install, for example, I ship Kitty with the i3 and BSPWM edition, so you can choose your terminal of choice. And then you can also install from here miscellaneous packages, which I would suggest you should do all of these, because so Rofi is basically program launcher, Phase, your wallpaper stuff, PyCom. It's not going to work in a virtual environment, but it's going to take care of your fading, animations, all of that. And Dunst is basically your notification daemon. So not a lot of stuff here, but enough for you to get started with either of the stuff provided here. You have Cutefish also, for example. So I think this is going to be Cutefish 0.5. I think that's the latest one. So the installation time is going to depend on the amount of stuff you select here, and if you select everything, it's obviously going to take longer. So you have to take the internet speed into consideration. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to select all of these things that I've done here. Click on next, then you have your software. So not a lot of things again over here, just basic things to get you started. So you have the option to install base devil, Linux headers, all of these things. So let's go with NeoFetch and EdgeTop, and let's say maybe in the web browser we can go with Firefox. And so you can just go ahead and explore. So you have your fonts. If you want to have Chinese, Japanese and Korean fonts, so you can select on this one also. So if you're watching anime or stuff like that, you would want to make sure you have this selected as well. You have your Roboto fonts, which are like your Calibri fonts in your Office suite. And then you have all of these things. You have multimedia applications, so you have video players. Let's say, for example, you want VLC, and then we have basic stuff here that you might want. We have Steam, for example. So yeah, multilib is enabled. That's the thing you have to take note of. There's no extra repository, no chaotic, nothing. Only the three main repositories plus multilib. Alright, so you have text editors. We can go ahead, for example, with Vim. So you get the idea. Whatever you want. There's not a lot of stuff here like what distributions have to offer. This is just an installer, so you get basic options in desktop and basic options in software. Everything is coming from the official repository. Nothing is going to be coming from third-party repositories. So obviously the options are going to be limited, and even in the things that I'm providing here, it's basically pretty limited to not overcomplicate things. So anybody can just click on these software, make sense of what they are, and just go ahead. And in any case you don't understand what a particular, let's say you don't know what is Noto font CJK, you can just go ahead on Google and search for, or go on DuckDuckGo and search for Noto font CJK Arch, and then on the packages page you will get a description of what the package is. So if in any case, I think this is very obvious. Something inside fonts is going to be fonts, something inside communication is going to be communication software, right? And something inside Office suite is going to be Office suite. So it pretty much makes sense that if something is residing under a subdirectory, it means that it has got to do something with let's say Emacs. Obviously it's going to be a text editor and not some kind of game launcher. So that makes sense. But if you want to make sure what a software does in particular, you can always Google, DuckDuckGo, whatever you like, and always type Arch Linux at the end so that you get to the Arch Linux packages page. And that's pretty much it. So you can erase disk, use whatever file system you want. I'll stick with ext4, and you can basic stuff again. So we can just type in our credentials quickly, and like I said, you have to remember the amount of software you select over there. It's going to reflect on the installation time. All right. So one thing that is already done for you, that is NVIDIA. So if you're on NVIDIA, you should have selected the second option, which is booting from the NVIDIA GPU NVIDIA GPU drivers. Since I'm doing this on VirtualBox and I don't have any NVIDIA hardware, I booted from the free and open source. So NVIDIA is automatically taken care of. And one thing that I'd like to tell you is that the display manager is SDDM. We'll walk through that later on once the installation is complete. So I'll be back when this is done. Alright, so as you can see, we are done with the installation process. As usual, go ahead and click on restart now. So we have Grub here. You want to make sure you're selecting Arch Linux. Alright, so there we have it. This is SDDM. And you can go ahead and select anyone. So let's, for example, go ahead and choose XFC. Remember, it's on the bottom left, and just press enter. So you will boot into XFC. So as you can see, we are in XFC. Now you can do whatever you want with this. Ideally, like I said, you would want to have one desktop environment per installation, not go ahead and install everything like I've done. But I'm doing this just for demonstrational purposes. So I'm just going to log out, and I can log in into another session. Let's say let's go to Budgie. So we can just again type in our password, and we will be in Budgie. So there we are. Again, we can log out, and same thing for GNOME, same thing for Plasma. I'll just show you i3 because that is something you would have to work around. So as it says here, we don't have a configuration file, so we are going to generate one. So press enter for that, and I'm going to keep the Windows key as the default mod key. So that's that. And now we can launch a terminal The only problem is that we are not launching Kitty. Remember we installed Kitty, right? So let's go ahead and let's see what the terminal is basically, and we are using the GNOME terminal. So what we can do is type in sudo, we have vim installed, remember, so we can go to .config i3 config, and obviously, well, by the way, you don't need to do sudo, right? We can just remove sudo from here. You can just vim. Alright, and what we want to do is for example, come to, let me just quickly search for Sensible. So yeah, here we can come and press I. If you are not comfortable with vim, you can always use nano, that's not an issue. Type in kitty, save the file, and we can mod shift R or mod shift C. Let me quit at this. Yeah. So we can exit, by the way, and we can mod shift R, and now when we load, we are in kitty. Okay, so this is how you can go around configuring the i3 shell. So you saw how I did it for the terminal. You can also now go ahead and do it for the program launcher. So for example, we have D menu run here. So what we can do is get this guy, or what we can do is basically just type over here rofi dash show d run, and then we can that's probably it, and we can save and exit the file, mod shift R to reload, and when we press mod D we have rofi, so we can find, for example, Firefox and launch it here in our i3 window manager. So obviously this is going to take some time. You can do a lot of things here. For example, we want to so you can see Firefox is launching. We can move Firefox to another workspace. Sorry, mod shift 2. So Firefox is gone now, it's residing in workspace 2, and what we can do is launch something else. So you don't need the terminal open, by the way. Mod shift Q to close, mod D, and you can for example open, let's see which calculator can we open. So we have opened I think this is the GNOME calculator. Alright, so this is basically how you use the Net Installer edition. Like I said, the same way you can set up some backgrounds, some things with the, so basically this is up to you how you want to configure the i3 window manager with after you have installed it with the help of Net Installer. How do you log out, by the way? Mod shift E. Alright, in i3 it's mod shift E. This will end our X session and we'll go back to SDDM like this. So that's how you do it. Plasma, same way, login, and that's how you do it. So this is pretty much it. This is how you use the Net Installer. If you have any other questions, you can ask me in the comments, and I hope this has helped answer the question Praveen has. Thank you.